Now, Damon, you are the editor-in-chief of the Herald-Sun and publisher of the infamous Mark Knight cartoon depicting Serena Williams. Do you still stand by that?
Yeah, I do. The cartoon wasn't about race, it wasn't about sexism, it was about mocking, lampooning, if you like, one of the world's greatest tennis players having one of the world's greatest dummy spits. That's all it was.
And that's what Mark Knight was trying to convey in his cartoon?
Yeah, he saw Serena's performance on Sunday, like much of the world, and drew her on Sunday evening, published it Monday morning, and it wasn't until Monday evening, with the time difference, that America woke up to it, and many people in America saw things in the cartoon that weren't there, and we all know what happened next.
As in race?
Yeah, I think so. I think people in America were wanting to see issues of racism and sexism in the cartoon, and they just simply weren't there.
So you still stand by Mark Knight?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, have you been surprised by the condemnation coming out of the United States in particular?
Look, it's been really interesting. Initially it was all very negative coming out of America, but as is the nature of social media, then there was a counter wave of support and criticism of the political correct sort of approach that some in America were taking. And you know, those people who are critical of the cartoon have got a right for their freedom of speech. They can express that as long as it's done in an appropriate and non-threatening manner. I don't have a problem with that. Some of the material on Twitter was menacing and threatening, and that's where the line has to be drawn.
Now, I'm going to preface my next question by using expletive, but Nicki Minaj, the hip-hop star out of New York, she labelled Mark Knight a cocksucker. Do you know if that's got back to him, and how do you feel about that?
Look, wouldn't agree with that. I think she doesn't need to stoop to that type of language to express her opinion. She didn't have to like the cartoon. We weren't asking her to. She can criticise it, as she did, as JK Rowling did. Don't have a problem with any of that. But equally, we're entitled to stand by our man, which is what we did, because it was right. And not many people, in fact, no one in Australia had a problem with that cartoon all through Monday. It was only when the left in Australia saw an opportunity with what was happening in America to attach themselves to that criticism that some people in Australia, who had all Monday to express an opinion and didn't, that's only when they jumped on board. The pile-on was on Monday night and Tuesday morning.
Hence Wednesday's front page, where you took a lot of Mark Knight's previous cartoons and put them on the front page for everybody to see.
Yeah, we thought this was a really good opportunity to show where the Herald-Sun stood on this issue. We are for freedom of speech. We are anti-being politically correct. And the best way of doing that was to use aspects of Mark Knight's previous works. The point being that he had lampooned and mocked our current Prime Minister, former Prime Ministers, other high-profile people through caricature. That's the job of a cartoonist. Sometimes that can be insulting, but it wasn't racist.
And just one more, has there been any legal ramifications and/or have you heard from Serena Williams' management?
No, we haven't. In fact, as far as I'm aware, Serena hasn't had anything to say about this issue on Twitter or any of her other many platforms. So I guess we'll wait and see.
One more, sorry.
That's okay.
The boss, Rupert Murdoch, has he chimed in or spoken to you?
No, I haven't spoken to Rupert about this. I'm sure he's aware of it. He's aware of most things that happen in the world. And it's not a bad thing.
Damon, thanks very much for your time.
Good on you, Tony.
Perfect.